Babolat make fantastic tennis rackets, but which are the best? Stay tuned for my top 5 Babolat rackets. Bablat Rackets, 3 main silos. You've got the Strike, you've got the Aero, and you've got the Drive, all pure. Pure as the driven snow. Pure Strike, pure Aero, and pure Drive. One for power, which is the pure Drive, one for spin, which is the Aero, and one for control, and which is the Strike. And this is I really like this about Bablat. It's very clear. The rackets sit in here, they sit in here, they sit here. It's very clear what they're supposed to do, and the rackets have often been manufactured and played in a way that was clear to differentiate. I like this, I play like this, and I like this Bablat frame. I play like this, and I like this Bablat frame. Very, very easy to choose a racket. But which are the top 5? Now, if you've got a shorter swing, something punchy, maybe you like to serve big and volley, Pure Drive is the one for you. If you want to sit at the back of the court, think Rafa, obviously, grinding loads of heavy topspin, Aero. And if you want that laser-like control, if you play flatter, want to really pick spots in the court, then maybe it's the Pure Strike. When you get to the tour level, so that's the 98s in the Pure Drive and Pure Aero, or the 97 in the Pure Strike, that's when you start to get all a little bit closer together, and control becomes more of the overarching characteristic. Anyway, without further ado, my top 5 Bablat rackets. Are you ready to have your minds blown? Because in at number 5 is none of those rackets that I've just mentioned, really. It is the Evo Drive. So it is it's a drop down from those sort of tour level expensive rackets, and it is in here for a few reasons. First of all, I think it looks great. Very nice color, looks really good, doesn't look like it's lower down the range. Second of all, I think this is probably the best value racket you can buy in the world. It's got so much tech, but it's still priced as a sort of intermediate beginnery racket. And if that wasn't enough for you, the Evo Drive comes with a squishy grip. A squishy grip like no other. It is called Air Handle Touch Technology, and it is like memory foam, to be honest. It means that the racket feels really plush, again belying its reduced price. It is also, because of this, because of the tech that they put in it, incredibly arm friendly. So if you're a little bit older and struggling with some elbow pain, for example, I know a lot of us are, I categorize myself in that category now, this might be a fantastic choice. Get on it. Pure Drive Evo is a steal, and it is my number 5 Bablat racket. In at number 4, and we go from supreme comfort and affordability to the other end of the spectrum, and this is the Pure Strike 97. Now, I said before, I really like the way that Bablat, it's very clear where the rackets sit and what they're for, and this is control. Absolute, unadulterated control, if that makes sense. It's a little heavier. It's the heaviest in the Bablat range at 310 grams, so a little bit more weight, and it's handle heavy, so it's a 310 millimeter balance point. So the weight right down here, making it really maneuverable too. And in addition to that, it's a 1620 pattern, so a tight string bed, loads and loads of control. This is a control frame in its very essence, previously criticized of being sort of too difficult, too uncomfortable. So the new Gen 4 is much, much improved. It's much, much more comfortable, much easier to get along with, but still with all of that control and precision that you want out of a Pure Strike. The only disappointing thing with this new release was the lack of, I can't think of a nice way to say it. They didn't do much with the design. So it seemed pretty stale because it looked very, very similar to the previous version, despite everyone having waited 4 years for it. But don't worry, because there is a new cosmetic, a new colorway coming this year, and I think that will really elevate this strike. Absolutely fantastic, and my number 4 Bablat racket. In at number 3, it is the Bablat Pure Drive, and this is the 98. This is the sort of tour level Pure Drive, 98 square inches, so you get a smaller head size, 305 grams, 16 by 19 pattern. The beauty of the new Pure Drive range as a whole is the tech that's been added to soften it up. This racket was a sledgehammer in its previous model. So stiff, so hard to play with. You could not get it moving at all. They have made some real upgrades with this. So they've added more flax tape. So you got a 2.0 version of the flax tape, added at 6 and 9, added in the throat, and that just means much better feel all round. It's not a sledgehammer anymore. It's still incredibly powerful. But in this 98 version, with the softening up of it, it is much closer to a control frame. It is a fantastic frame. Basically, it now sort of functions as an all-rounder to me. Very good control, still massive amounts of power with a bit better feel from these new upgrades. Pure Drive 98 is my number 3 Bablat racket. In at number 2. It is doubling down with a Pure Drive, but now we're going for the classic 100. Now, the 100 has got everything you would want from a Pure Drive. It is madly powerful, it's incredibly stable, really solid, but it's now got better feel. It now doesn't feel like it's going to kill you every time. It now doesn't feel so difficult to play any other way than the way that the racket demands, which is basically short little stabby swings back of the court. You can now do much more. As a caveat, if I was going to choose one to play with, I would probably choose the 98 because I need a bit more control. This is power. This is stiff. The 98 gives you a little bit more control, and that's what I need. But as an overall racket, with the additions that they've made, it has elevated the sort of standard 100 square inch 300 gram Pure Drive into an entirely new realm. It is the biggest upgrade between versions, I think, of any racket that I can remember. Get your hands on a new one. If you haven't enjoyed Pure Drives before, it's really worth trying the new one because it is massively different and a huge upgrade. And that's why it is my number 2 Bablat racket. In at number 1, drum roll, go. Think Carlos Alcaraz and think, controversially, Stefano Tsitsipas. It is, of course, the Aero 98. Now, this is the best Bablat racket, my favorite Bablat racket, and I'll tell you for why. So, it is stiff, as you'd expect, so you get loads and loads of power. You get loads and loads of spin. It's an Aero, for goodness sake. But what you also get now, with a little bit more weight, the balance a little lower, and with an extra cross string making it a 16 by 19 pattern, is you get loads and loads of control. It is absolutely fantastic. And again, this was a racket that I had to come round to. When I first played with it, wasn't quite sure. The more you play with it, the more you start to understand it, the more you get out of it. It is an absolutely sensational racket. I can see why Alcaraz plays basically with this, with very minor adjustments, and I can see why Tsitsipas also has gone to it. Truly great in that tour level range of being able to master different styles of play from different parts of the court. The Aero 98 gives you everything, or gives me everything that I want, and is definitely, without question, my number 1 Bablat racket. So there you have it. Those are my top 5 Bablat rackets. You want control, you go strike. You want spin, you go Aero. You want power, you go for a Pure Drive. I was going to say an Ezo. And if you want a little bit of everything, that's when you start to look at those tour level ones. You start to look at the Aero 98, my number 1. The Pure Drive 98 is going to be closer to control, and obviously ultra control already is the Pure Strike 97. They are fantastic rackets. I recommend you get on court and try them, starting with the Aero 98, which is my number 1. As always, don't forget to like, follow, share, subscribe, so you never miss a thing from PH Tennis.